feel so much more safe here. Yes, there's a lot of homeless people. Yes, there's a lot of like whatever. But those people are just not gonna hurt you.
Listen, if you're in your 20s, what would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
I'd move to America and make my fortune.
Why would you move to America?
One thing that separates London and New York from me, in my opinion, is the fact that I can use my phone on the mains. I can use my phone on the mains. Like, I'm literally using my phone on the mains, and I still, the London in me, subconsciously, the back of my mind is like, put it away, because it's gonna get stolen. But it's not gonna get stolen. Like, I feel more safer here, and these men got guns.
Yeah, but the UK has free healthcare. Yeah, free healthcare, meaning anybody can use it and abuse it, meaning anytime you try to use it for a legitimate reason, there's an army of smackheads in front of you that need their stomachs pumped, need pans taken off the head, need things removed from the rectum, and people just swim over from Calais to get free medical assistance even when they're not from the country. People are dying on waiting lists. Honestly, it's a small price to pay, just a little out of my paycheck, to receive quality healthcare. You can say whatever you want about it not being free, but the NHS is rubbish and you get what you pay for in America.
I've been here for less than 24 hours, and I really think that the US is the most beautiful place I've ever been. This is just the street that I'm staying on, and I can't believe how beautiful the houses are. Like, they are amazing, and it puts the UK to massive shame. As somebody who lives in the UK, and all my life, nobody wants anything out of life in the UK. Everybody's miserable. Nobody's got any drive to do anything. Nobody's got any ambition, and the governments are ruining absolutely everything. And then you come to a place like this, where all the houses just look like mansions. Everything's so peaceful. You know, there's barely any cars that drive by in California, where I'm staying, and everyone just seems so happy. I don't know if you can see, but you've got the beach, the ocean, the Bay Area down there. One of the big things I've noticed when coming here is the roads are so much wider. Like, if this was the UK, that's like a 4-lane motorway. But this is just some like residential street, and all the houses look good. It's just very, very motivating. Why anybody would choose to live in the UK over America, I'll never understand. The UK is miserable. Why would you not want to live in a place that's as beautiful as this?
America is safe, but don't get us wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that America is 100% safe, but if you were to compare America and UK, America is more safe and more peaceful than the United Kingdom. I'm not saying that they are no bad people. Yes, America has bad people, and you should also be careful. But again, the world is trying to come to America. Look at the latest data on green card. How many people are trying to get green card? How many people? So many people around the world. They are trying to get green card. That means the world is trying to come to the United States of America. If the United States of America was not safe, we wouldn't be having people fighting so hard, killing each other, trying to get to the other side of the United States of America. We won't be having people walking on deserts, on the hot road, from one place to another, from Mexico to America, walking on long distance, so that at least they can get a chance to come to the US. Why? Because US is a nice place. It's a land of opportunity. It's a land of freedom. It's a safe place. People want to come to that place so hard.
The blocks in America aren't as bad as the ones in the UK. In America, they have a front porch, they have upstairs, downstairs, a back garden. In the UK, there's 40 million families living in one building. One of my boys, he lives in Brixton. He lives in a block that we actually refer to as hell. That's a real block.
The thing that's been tripping me out recently about America is the culture around kettles. And if you don't know, a kettle is a nice watch. That's Cockney rhyming slang. Other day I was in the office, and there was an associate, like grade-wise, they're not that senior, right? But he had a Sky Dweller in the office. Mind games. Man, that shit was shimmering though. That was beautiful. But when I was in London, you think you can pull up to the office wearing a kettle? They'll look at you like you insane. It's definitely frowned upon in London. But out here, no one bats an eyelid. My old boss was definitely a multi-millionaire in pounds. The best watch I ever saw him wear to the office was like a Tudor or a Casio. No one pulls up to the office with the crazy watches, but over here, it's like, my new boss comes in with her AP all the time. Mind games. Throw in, yeah, that you can walk down the street with your watch glistening and shimmering and no one cares. In London, if you walk outside with a Rolex, yeah, the gangsters and the robbers and the jack boys are slicing off your wrist. In New York, I have never ever had that fear.
Excuse me. If you were in your 20s, what would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
I'd move to America and make my fortune.
Why would you move to America?
Because that's what I did when I was 20.
What did you do?
I was in the antiques business.
The antiques business?
Yes.
So why did you choose to move over to America?
Because that's where the opportunities were.
Do you think the opportunity is still in America today?
Yes.
I want to move to America. What's my steps? What do I do?
Get a good job in one of the major cities.
But what if I want to work for myself?
Yeah, you could do that too. No problem at all.
Was it your business, your antiques business?
Not originally. I went over to work for somebody and then I eventually took over the business and ran it myself.
Do you think that's a good stepping stone? Is going and working underneath someone and learning from them? It's like a fly on the wall almost.
Yeah, without question, because you're gaining from somebody else's experience whilst developing your own skills, and life is always changing. So there are certain aspects of the experience years ago that don't transfer, but there are certain things that do. Hard work is one, looking after your customers is another. Being people-centered and providing a good, reliable service.
Yes.
Do that and you'll go a long way. All right?
Perfect. I've got one more question for you. What is the biggest thing you've learned moving from the UK to America?
Well, it was everything. I mean, it was the attitude to life, and the fact that if you failed, it wasn't seen as failure. It was seen as a learning curve. Whereas over here, we like to ridicule people. We like to feel superior, even in the smallest little ways.
Yes.
You know, I'm not like that idiot over there, but they forget I'm an idiot over here in my own failures. Whereas I think in America, it's not like that. They reward hard work, ingenuity, reliability, and as I said, if you fail, it's not seen as failure, it's seen as
stepping stone.
It's a stepping stone. That's all it is. Okay. So the attitude there is much more positive than I find it here.
Exactly where I want to go.
All right, enjoy.
Pleasure to meet you. Ethan.
Nice to see you, Raymond.
I lived in London, right? And I'm now in New York. And I cannot even explain to you the difference between like safety between London and New York. I feel so much more safe here. Yes, there's a lot of homeless people. Yes, there's a lot of like whatever. But those people are just not gonna hurt you. They're just there. Whereas in London, you never know what to expect from people. And like, you know.
I gotta be honest, without a doubt, the best decision that I ever made was moving to the United States 14 years ago, taking a risk, and 14 years later, if you would have told me 14 years ago that I would have played collegiate soccer, that I would have had a really good career in soccer after college, that I would have graduated with not one, not two, but 3 degrees, including 2 master's degrees, got a great job, got an amazing wife, great family, live in an amazing state called Tennessee, and I'm absolutely living the dream. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have believed you. And that is the true beauty and uniqueness of America. There are opportunities here every single day, and if you are brave enough to just go after them and chase them and don't give up and be consistent and disciplined, then you can make your dreams a reality in America. I mean, it's the reason why it's called the land of opportunity, right? America, thanks for having me and making my dream become a reality.
Why did you move to America is a question I get all the time. 3 words for you, brother. Freedom, opportunity, weather. That's it. Simple as. The weather is beautiful, not everywhere, but wherever you choose, you can choose the weather, yeah? So I'm in Arizona. It's sunny like 330 days of the year. It's like raining 330 days back in England, or it's cloudy. I didn't want that anymore. Secondly, the opportunity here is so much bigger. Like, look at what people are doing. People are setting up businesses, doing whatever they want to make money. In England, people are going that route of high school, college, uni, go into a dead-end job and work it for the rest of their life. No thank you. I do not want that. I want more out of life. I want to enjoy it. You've literally got one life. I tell everyone this. Do everything you can while you're young to set yourself up for the future. Like, work as hard as you can. Work-life balance isn't a thing in your 20s. Make sure that you're just putting in the work now so that you don't have to do it. And the best place for me to do that was America. Also, third thing, the freedom. I can go anywhere. I can go to Miami, New York, LA, San Diego, all these different places on an internal flight for cheap. I couldn't do that in England. I could go to London or Scotland or Wales. I love them places, don't get me wrong, but I wanted different. I wanted different climates, different food, different people, just a different way of life. I wanted to be surrounded by people that want to do bigger and better things. I also wanted to be surrounded by people that support you. Like, I get nice messages of people telling me that they love the videos and keep going. In England, you'd get ripped, bro. Like, people would put you in group chats and say the maddest things in your comments. You get a lot of haters. And yeah, you get some of that here, but it's way less. People are way more supportive. And that's literally my why. I've met some of the best people in the world since I've been in America. It's created so many different opportunities for me. And my life over the past 4 years has literally rocketed. So much better. I would not change it for the world. And yeah, I'm blessed to be in a position where I can be here. But I also say to the people that have the opportunity and don't take it, you're probably making the biggest mistake of your life, because even if you don't do it forever and you do it for a little bit of time, it will change your life, and I'm sure you'll love it.
One thing I absolutely love about moving to America from Britain, okay, is the variety of things to do, okay? Like, outside of your shooting guns and fucking going to theme parks like Disney World and Universal Studios, which is the best fucking place ever, by the way, is within a couple of hours of us, we've got so much. Like, if you look at this. So here, mate, we're in the Smoky Mountains in North Carolina. Okay, look at those fucking views. We stayed in a little log cabin. It was fucking beautiful. And here, bruv, we're staying at a lake house. Okay, this was close to home. This is about 40 minutes. Look at that fucking view. Look at that water. Look at those trees, bruv. Now, don't get me wrong. The UK's got a lot of beautiful countryside. Okay, but like where I grew up in Somerset, yeah, it's just surrounded by farms, mate. You got a lot of old buildings and shit, and it's cool for history and stuff. But you ain't got views like that. I wouldn't be spending weekends going to stay in a fucking log cabin in the mountains and roasting marshmallows by a fire. I wouldn't be going to a fucking lake just to chill out or fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not something I'd have done back home. But here, there's so much variety for things to do. And I don't even know about most of it. Like, anyone that's local to Georgia, maybe Tennessee, North Carolina, what suggestions would you give me to go check out? Thank you.
I was just thinking about this moment in university that made me realize that Americans are a little bit delusional. One of my friends asked me if it's true that you're told that one day you can be president when you're a kid. And I said, yeah, of course, why wouldn't you tell kids that? And he looked at me and said, in France, that would be insane. And I actually paused because I was like, wait, you guys aren't walking around thinking that one day you could run the country if you wanted to? Because in the US, that kind of is the mindset. Even if it's a little bit unrealistic, you aim high, set big goals, and you're taught to be confident. And honestly, I kind of love that about the US. Even if it's not rational, I think it's quite powerful that you're raised to believe that you can achieve big things. But I understand that in other places, confidence is more about being measured, not assuming you deserve everything, and not overestimating yourself. And I genuinely didn't realize that until it was pointed out that not everyone grows up being told that they could run their country.
Let's be clear from the beginning. We are not saying America is some perfect country where nothing bad happens. Of course not. America has good people and America has bad people, just like every other country on earth. New York has crime. There are places where you should be very careful, and there are situations where common sense absolutely matters. But that's not what makes this British tourist's experience so interesting. He arrived with certain expectation, and then he experienced something completely different. He looked around NYC, New York, millions of people moving through the streets, and what surprised him was how focused everyone seemed to be on their own business. People had somewhere to go, Someone was heading to work. Someone was catching a train. Someone was meeting a friend. Someone was carrying groceries. Everyone seemed to have a purpose. And this British tourist began realizing not everybody around you is thinking about what you own. They are thinking about their own lives, their own business, their own works, their own families, their own problems, their own ambitions. He could walk through the city wearing something expensive like a Rolex watch, and people weren't necessarily, stopping him to bother him. And that can be a powerful realization because sometimes the image we build of a country before visiting it is completely different from the reality we experience once we are there. Of course, that doesn't mean you should walk around carelessly. It doesn't mean you should assume nothing can happen. And it certainly doesn't mean every part of America is equally safe. It simply means America is more complicated than the stereotypes. There are millions of decent people, people working, building businesses, raising families, helping strangers, helping themselves, and simply trying to live their own lives. And yes, there are criminals too. There are dangerous situations. There are problems. But when you compare America with places around the world where people face much greater insecurity, it's understandable why so many people continue to see the United States as a desirable place to live. Think about the number of people who dream about getting green card, people who spend years trying to legally immigrate, people who want to work in America, raise their children there, build businesses there, and create a future there. People don't make those sacrifices because they believe America is perfect. People who choose to visit America, they don't make these sacrifices because they believe or think that America is perfect. No, they do it because they see opportunity and stability. They see possibilities. They see a country where they believe they can build something for themselves. And perhaps that is what this British tourist discovered. Sometimes you have to separate the headlines from everyday life. A city can have problems and still have millions of people living ordinary and peaceful life. A country can have crime and still be a place where millions of people feel secure enough to build their future. Both things can be true at the same time. That is why we should romanticize America and America. That's why we should romanticize an America. But we should demonize America either. We should look at the reality. There are good people, there are bad people, there are safe places, there are dangerous places, there are problems, and there are incredible opportunities. That is the real America. And perhaps the most powerful thing about travel is discovering that reality for yourselves. Because sometimes you arrive expecting to be afraid, and instead you find yourselves surprised by how normal everything feels. You walk through the streets, you see people living their lives, and you realize the country you imagined from thousands of miles away is very far from what you thought it was. Or is it necessarily a bad place? Ladies and gentlemen, traveling has a way of breaking prejudices and stereotypes. Not that America has no problems, but America is far more complicated for human conceptualization. America is not perfect. It's a country just like every other country. It has its own ups, and again, it also has its own downs. It has good people and it has bad people. America is not perfect. But if you can compare America with some other countries, America is better. Ladies and gentlemen, look at all these countries that are fighting every day, throwing bombs every day. Women getting, beaten every day. Imagine. Look at America. Democracy is so good there. Women rights are respected in America, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a good place